Going over 10136. To start off, we already have the drawing 10136 in our drawing folder. I'm going to open that by going to the top left, clicking open, going to my work folder that's on my desktop, go 10136, and go to the drawing folder and open 10136 drawing. It looks like this, and we're going to follow the steps on the training workflow that should already be in the drive. I'm using Google Docs as I'm opening it from the drive. If you open it from yours, it'll open with whatever you use, but this is what I've got. Our first step is to we've already opened the drawing in the drawing folder. We're going to find the vesting deed in the PDF folder and use the property description from it to draw our tract. So in our job folder, we're going to go to the PDF. We're going to go to the vesting deed. The vesting deed calls us lot 1401 of the Vintage Oaks Vineyard, Unit 11. So we're going to find this won't always be called it. It'll just be it'll be plat or something, but just open up the documents in there and you'll see, if you're scrolling for a little bit, you have our plat. This is Vintage Oaks of the Vineyard, Unit 11. So let's find 1401. Well, 1401 is right here. You can see it on sheet 3. So we're going to go to sheet 3. And you can see actually behind us we have some lots going on behind us too. We'll need to draw those up too. So we'll go to sheet 3 and we found 1401 here. So here's our tract, and in order to draw it up, I keep it on the side. And we're going to go over and we're going to draw it up here. We're going to copy the drawing that we've created and paste it here. Then we're going to block it here and copy that block and put it onto our property just to see where we are. So type LA to make sure we're drawing in the right layer. LA enter, and we're going to go to the boundary layer. Gotta click on the X at the top left, close it. I'm going to start at this bottom left corner. I'm going to work my way around the tract to draw it. So I'm going to type L to create a line. Then we're going to specify where I want to start. This program, we're going to type Shift at in order to draw bearings and distances. And we're going to draw this distance of 365.22 feet. Hit tab to go to the bearing. Now we're going to specify that we're going to go northwest and we're not going to go southeast. If we went southeast from this point, we'd end up over here. That's not where we want to go. We want to go northwest, go this way, because that is opposite of southeast. So we're going to go north, 50 degrees, 51 minutes, 44 seconds west. I'm going to hit at again. Now we're at this point, and I want to go this way. So I'm going to go 124.07 feet, tab. Instead of going southwest again, because this way would take us southwest, I want to go northeast. So I'm going to go north, 46 degrees, 02 minutes, 17 seconds east. And again, what I'm hitting is N 46 D 02 apostrophe 17 quotation mark. So I'm just hitting the key next to enter for the first one, and then hit shift the key next to enter again to make quotation mark, and I'm going to hit E for east. So now I'm going to go southwest. Well, now I'm going to go northeast, which is opposite of southwest. So I'm going to go at 16.95 tab in 46 D 02 apostrophe 17 quotation east. Now we can actually finally follow the actual bearing. So we're going to go southeast this time. So we're going to go at 348.28 feet, tab, south 50 degrees, 51 minutes, 44 seconds east, which is the same thing as I was typing earlier, but I'm saying what it actually is. Now I'm going to go at 140 feet. We're going to go south 39 degrees, 08 minutes, 16 seconds west. And now I've drawn up and closed my property. I want to draw all the joining lines next to me. So I'm going to copy this line because I know that these have the same bearing, even though they don't go the same distance. So I'm going to copy this line from here. I'm going to paste it here. I'm going to put it over here. Now I'll move this line from the end here to there. I'm going to select these objects, hit Control 1. Then I'm going to click on the layer dropdown and set it to a joiner. If I'm moving too fast with the move and the copy commands, go make sure you've watched the CAD commands video, and so he can show you how to use those. Now we need to copy these ones at the top. So I'm going to copy this one, paste it there, and move this one that I've pasted here. And I'm going to do match properties of this object to these objects. Now, this would be good enough if I wasn't building out to rods, but I am going to be building out to rods just along the front. I don't have any rods along the back. And I know this, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit. But what y'all would have done is y'all would have copied this, pasted it here. You would have gone and blocked this, called it plat, and hit enter and enter. Selected all the objects to block. Now you hit enter, and you hit enter again to OK it. You're going to specify the insertion point, which will just be pretty much anywhere as long as it's on it. And then you'll copy this new block from here, paste it onto your property. These white dots are going to be property corners, so you should probably fit whatever corners make sense to sit there. If you're ever confused, let us know, and we'll try to help you out and figure it out. So as you can see, there's a white dot that I didn't build out to over here. There's another one across the street that we're not going to build out to because it's too much of a hassle. And this one right here, we're not going to build out to that one. We're just going to build out to this one right here. So it's finished building out. Well, this line that I made was just a copy of this, and this is 140 feet, but this is supposed to be 175. And you can see that's 140 feet here when I hit Control 1 to pull up the properties. So I'm going to draw a circle at the end of it and turn my snap back on by hitting F3. Now I've snapped to the end of it, and I'm going to draw a circle of 175.02 feet. Going to extend using extend command to the circle this line. So I've just turned the 140 foot line into 175.02 foot line. So now I'm going to delete this circle. Now we'll copy this line because this line and this line share the same bearing, 390816, except this one is 12.74 feet. So I'm going to link them by typing LEN, the object that I want to change. Okay, that just gives me the measurement. I want to change it, and I want to change it by specifying the new total that I want to give it. So I'll hit space because that's the default. The total length I want to give it is 12.74 feet. And I'm specifying the side that I want to cut it from. So you can see if I were to click on this side, I'd have it would be over here if I click on this side. And if I click on this side, it'll be over here. So see like that. So I want to keep it on that side. It really doesn't matter. I could click it here too. If it's this side, it's closer. So then I'm going to move this line, the end of that line. And now, in order to not confuse myself later on, hit Control 1, and I'll change this color to magenta just so I can see that this is a different object than this, because I don't want to confuse myself and think, oh, I didn't draw that second line. So now I need to draw this curve that comes up next. You draw this curve that comes up next. after this. And so if you're traveling along this line right here, if you're traveling along this line like it were a car, you could see that this like you were a car, you could see that this curve is going to go this way. So if you're traveling this way, you can see that you would be turning left to follow the curve. If this curve turned the other way and you were following it this way, you'd see that you would turn right to follow the curve. So we're going to call this a curve to the left. So I'm going to offset this by typing O. I'm going to offset this magenta line that I just made by the radius of the curve. That's going to be 330 feet, specified by this R330 right there. Hit space, and now I'm going to offset the distance to what would be the left of the curve. So you offset it that way. I'm going to come to the home tab, going to find the arc drop down. I'm going to specify that I want to build this arc using the start center angle. This will be usually most of the time how you build this, unless an angle isn't provided to you. Otherwise, you would use a start center length or at worst a start end radius. For this point right now, we're going to use start center angle. We're going to click on start center angle. I'm going to specify the start of the arc. It's going to be here, not obviously we're continuing on. And this offsetted line, we're going to click on the same point on it as we did the first one to specify the center. Now I'm going to be drawing the angle, since we're doing a start center angle arc. And the angle of this arc is 19 degrees, 58 minutes, 7 seconds. That's denoted by this delta symbol. So I'm going to type 19D, 58 minutes, 07 seconds, enter. We now successfully built this arc. I'm going to match the properties to make it an adjoiner. Delete that line right there and come in and finish building out to this rod. So I'm going to start a line at the end of the arc, shift at to make a bearing and distance line. I'm going to specify that the distance is 13.2 feet to build this line right here. Hit tab to specify bearing. And the bearing, even though there's not one listed directly on it, we know that it's the same as this one. So I'm going to go south 19 degrees, 10 seconds, 10 minutes, 9 seconds west. And now we have built that line. We can make sure we put it on the right layer by matching properties. Now I'm going to go back to the 0 layer just for really no reason. Close that. Copy this whole thing over here. I don't want to use this one anymore. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to block and name it flat because I want to redefine the block. Hit enter and then hit enter again. I'm going to select everything that I want to be blocked. Redefine the block there. And that's gone here. I've just realized that I forgot to draw this back line. So let's go figure out what that looks like before we turn it in. And we can see that sheet 5 is what's behind us. And we are this 124.07 feet and the 16.95 feet. So let's go find sheet 5. And here on sheet 5, you can see at the bottom left it says sheet 5. You can see it says here's the 124.07 foot call and the 16.9 foot call. So this line is the one that's coming off of the back of ours. So let's put that here. Like the layer manager again, let's go to the adjoiner layer, layer C to close that. We'll start another line from the end of this line and we'll type shift at. We'll do 536.98 feet, tabbed over and do instead of southeast because I don't want to go southeast, I want to go northwest. We'll go north 75 degrees, 41 minutes, 40 seconds west. Now I've got the proper line that we want to use. So I'm going to copy it from the end of there, pull it over to the same spot on the block. I'm going to explode the block by typing X space. I'm going to click on the block that I want to explode And now I'm going to redefine this block again. So I'm going to type block, rename it plat, hit enter, enter, go through, select everything, enter again to finish specifying what I'm going to block. I'm going to hit OK. I'm just asking me to redefine it. I am redefining it, specifying the same insertion point. Now my property, now my plat block is building out to my rods. And you can see that I have actually built out to all the adjoiners. This one, I wonder how far, yeah, this rod right here is this rod right here. You can see that, but that doesn't go from our property. We'd have to build out to our joiner and to it. Could if you wanted. I'm not going to make you do that on this one. But if you wanted to, you would go and build this northeast call, this 30-foot call, and then you would build this 117-foot call. You've now built out to all the adjoining rods that I'm asking you to build out to. So what we're going to do now is we're going to control Shift S to save this drawing as. We're going to keep it, make sure that we're in the right folder. This should be 10136 because we're drawing 10136. We're going to go to 10136, the drawing folder, and this is the same place that it was before. And we're going to call it record for resolution. Hit enter. Now we're not in the original drawing that we were anymore. This drawing, record for resolution, is what you're going to send in to me to resolve, but now you're going to hit Control Shift S again to save as, and you're going to overwrite the file that you were in originally. So we're going to save it and overwrite it. Now you're going to continue to keep working in this, but this is what we're going to do. We drew our tract. So we kind of skipped a step. We were supposed to use the CAD map to pull the adjoining property information and draw the properties adjoining our tract, and continue to build out until we hit until we've built out to the monument petition that's been found. So let's go to our plat. Let's go to our CAD map, which is going to be in your work folder. This should be in the county resources. So again, I'm using everything from the document. You've already downloaded it, so if you wanted to, you could go out to your work folder and go to your county resources, but I don't like using mine. I use mine from the drive. So we are in, we need to find out what county we're in. Let's go to our job, go to the PDF. In our vesting deed, which says we are in Comal County. At the end of the paragraph, it says Comal County of our property description. So in county resources, I'm going to go to the Comal County CAD. And now we are in, oh, this one brings you directly to the subdivision. That's really funny. Well, here's exactly 10136 is. So that's not always going to happen. Usually you're going to have to type in. Well, usually you'll have to type in your actual property ID that you would get from Comal CAD here. So 393983 is your property ID number. So we're going to copy that. Had this not actually, had you been spawned, you know, where you normally do, it's like way over out here. You'll come and type your property number in there and hit search, and that's how you'll find it. So we're going to check all of these. We expect our joiners, opening the plat, we expect our joiners to be lots out of this. So if we're 1401, we expect 1400 to be next to us. And this is lot 1400. We'd expect this to be 1402. This is 1402. Let's go find what's behind us on sheet 5. So this is our match line with sheet 5. We'd expect this one to be 1393. Oh, no, 1394 right there, and it is 1394. Then we'd expect this one to be 1393. Okay, so all of our joiners look like we expect them to. So I'm going to, so this is done being built. Let's go to our training workflow. We've saved the job number as, and now we're going to send it in. So we're going to go back to our drive folder. In the training material folder, you'll see your names upload folder. Go inside of it, right click and create a new folder and name it your job folder, 10136. So in 10136, now we're going to upload the record for resolution. We're just going to copy that into 10136 because now we are confident that what we had built was correct. Now you're going to send me a message. So you're going to pull up whatever you're talking to me in and say, hey, Jacob, I've made the 10136 record for resolution. And there's going to be a send button and you're going to hit send. Send that to me. Let me know that you're done with building the record for resolution, and I'm going to need that ASAP. So that's why that's the first thing you work on. Now we're going to move on to the next step after you've done it. If the job title has commitment, well, this job does not have a title. Or so if this job has a title commitment, and this job does not have a title commitment. So step 4 does not affect us on this job specifically. This one, we're going to copy the address of the FEMA into, we're going to copy the address into FEMA, and we'll get the address of this from the Comal CAD. I have to open this a million times because I'm using 2 different browsers. And here's our address. And this is going to be our location address, not the owner's address. The owner's address is not very reliable. It's not always the same. So the location of the address will copy here. We'll go to FEMA, which is here. I've got it bookmarked. So, you can go there. We'll paste our address into it, hit enter, and we're going to let it load because it doesn't always finish loading by the time we want to use it. So, like I said, give the page some time to load by moving on to the next step. Now we're going to draw our field work. We're going to draw our field work, and this says, draw the field work. Be sure to use appropriate layers. Then we're going to place our symbols and make sure that we place the appropriate symbols while copying the symbol off to the side, the symbol and the label. Then we're going to annotate the objects in it. So first, we're going to go to the appropriate layer. First thing that I want to draw is this edge of road. Edge of road is drawn in miscellaneous object layer. So I'm going to double click on the square next to that, type layer C to close the palette. I'm going to use the spline command to click on all of these edge of road shots at the node of these shots. There's a couple different spots where you could click on this. You could click on the insertion on accident. You do not want to put it there. We want to click it to the node snap. I'm going to hit space or enter to end the command. On this specific job, there's nothing else to draw with line work, but there are symbols. You can see right now that the water meter symbol and the iron rod symbol has already come in. So I'm going to need to find labels for those. But I also need to do the electric meter and the transformer symbol. So let's zoom all the way out, come over here to the left, and grab the electric meter, the water meter, transformer, and this found iron rod symbol, and all of their text. I just pasted it twice now. So we're going to paste it off to the side over here. In fact, I'm going to move this a little bit further, actually. And this is this is all the symbols and their labels next to each other with it. So I'm going to then copy the ones that we need. So the water meter and the rod already came in, so I don't need to paste those again. I'm just going to use the transformer and the electric meter. I'm going to copy the electric meter all the way over here. Paste the electric meter where it is. I actually grabbed the transformer too, so because it was below it, it pasted below it. And I'm going to put the transformer in the middle of all of these points. I'm going to paste it right there. Now that we've drawn our line work and pasted all of our blocks or our symbols, and then have the symbols off to the side. Now we need to annotate, which means label our improvements. So we're going to do that by coming over. Ignore this. I have to explode this. Ignore that. That should be fixed by the time you have it. Control 1. Yeah, just checking. Okay, so now I want to label the edge of the road. So I'm going to take the edge of road label. I'm going to copy it from the insertion point by turning my snaps back on by hitting F3. And paste it over here. I'm going to move this object so that the node, the top left node, is at the end of the road. I'm going to rotate this because I need the label following the edge of the road. We're going to rotate this, specifying here, and now it's already following my mouse. So if I were to click here, you can see if you look at this area right here in the center, you can see if I click on this line, that square comes up. That means it would snap to the end of there and nothing would happen. So I'm going to use the near snap by typing near and hitting space, and then it's going to snap to wherever I'm nearest clicking to with my mouse. I'm going to snap to the end there. Now I'm going to move this this label off over here, and that's fine right there. So now I have labeled all of my improvements. We have noted that there are already symbols in the drawing, so make sure to paste the label off to the side with the symbol. We did that. So now we're using the appropriate labels to label our tract and the adjoining properties. So let's do that. Over here, we've got our property labels. Ignore this. We've got our property labels, and these two labels right here are labels for our property, and these labels over here are labels for adjoining properties. So I know that my lot and my adjoining lots are all lot blocks, and that we are on a street. We need to check if it's public or private. This doesn't say anything about it being private, so I'm going to drag the public street label. I'm going to click our lot and block label and our adjoiner's lot and block label, and copy all three of them over here. And I'll paste it here so that mine is correct. My lot label is correct. So I'll do lot 1401 because we are lot 1401. If this wants to let me, I'm going to erase block because we are not out of a block, and you can see that we're lot 1401. I'm going to investigate it, and it calls us lot 1401. If we were out of a block, it would say out of a block right here too, but it does not. We're going to check if we have any recorded acreage on our plat. 1401 is 1.15 acres. So we're going to call this 1.15 acres. We're going to put parentheses in that because we found that on the plat. Or we would have found it in our DB too. Let's move this off to the side. And the street label here. So I'm going to move the street label again, just so that we can rotate the object to follow the road. I'm going to do a near snap to the road. Move this off, put it there. So this street name is Penotage. We got that from the plat, calling it Penotage, and the CAD map calling it Penotage on our address. We're going to find the right-of-way width, so that comes from our plat again. The notage, as you can see, has a 60-foot right-of-way width. This is what denotes the right-of-way width is 60 feet. We're going to come in here. There's that to 60 feet. Where did we get the information that we just listed here? We got that from our plat, so we're going to type per plat. We've already verified that all of the adjoining tracks correspond with the plat, so I'm going to label these according to the plat. This northeast one is lot 1402. We can come in here, change it to 1402. I'm going to copy this to paste it in our adjoiners. Make sure to try to, paste it where it's going to look pretty. This one over here to the southwest of us is lot 1400. Okay, 1400. Now we need to go behind us to find out what these lots are. Now we're going to go to sheet 5 because that's where the match line was, sheet 5. So these two lots are 1394 and 1393. There. So now we have all of our adjoiners labeled and the road and our own tract. As using the appropriate labels, we labeled our tract, and then we also labeled our record acreage in parentheses. Then we labeled the adjoining properties, and we labeled our road. Now we're going to go back to FEMA. For the next steps is go back to FEMA, take a snapshot of it. FEMA is here. We're going to take a snip of it. Oh, look, someone already had it. Oh, wow. We're going to go from the top left of the search bar to include our address in the snip to the bottom left of the map. We're going to do File, Save As. We're going to save as into our work folder. So we're in the desktop, we're going to go to our work folder, the job folder, we're going to go to the FEMA folder, we're going to hit save in there. Whoops, there was a revision. So I'm going to go back, open it up, and make sure to snip it with the revision shown. So we'll do that again, and we'll just save over the file that we just made, rewrite it. And now that we've done all the way through the training material, we are done with our part of the job, being level 1. So we're going to go back to first we're going to save this drawing, then we're going to close it, and then we're going to go to 10136. We're going to go to our Google Drive folder, going to go up to our names upload folder, and back to 10136. And we're going to go to our work folder that we have that's on our PC. We're going to take everything that we've got and upload it to the upload folder. So when you're done, you should be turning in everything that you have for the entire job, which is done pretty much by just copying all of the folders into the drive. Now, mind you, we did not upload directly into the upload folder. We uploaded into the 10136 folder because that's our job. As you do more jobs, you'll make more folders, and whatever. So you've now uploaded into the right folder. You've completed everything that you're done. So you're gonna message Jacob in your super sophisticated messaging system. Say, I'm done with 10136 or whatever it is. And then let me know. All right, now we are done. So we'll move on to the next job.